Winter 2011 was a pleasant no-show for most of the U.S., setting hundreds of temperature records and setting off the predictable chorus that this is because of global warming and cold winters are going to be a thing of the past.
It is getting warmer, and it will continue to warm on average as we go into the future.
Except this was winter 1 year ago. Remember the collapse of the Metrodome roof in Minneapolis from too much snow? Europe has seen record-setting cold and snow for the past few years. More than 600 people died from a historic Arctic cold snap across the continent this year. Europe used to get warnings about warmer and warmer winters too, not so much anymore. But man-made climate change is still an article of faith and law in Europe, where publicly disputing the theory could end your career. It doesn't matter how much Europe looks like the North Pole, climate skeptics aren't just wrong, they're bad people. When noted French scientist and politician Claude Allègre came out with the book The Climate Deception, 400 French scientists signed a petition demanding the government denounce the book. This Belgian TV documentary is typical fare, exposing so-called climate criminals, experts like Allègre who don't believe in global warming. And if a climate skeptic makes it on TV, they're likely to be attacked by their interviewer. Some people have compared France's news media to North Korea's. That's a bit of a stretch, but there are only a few TV news channels all spouting about the same message. And there's definitely a party line when it comes to climate change. Czech President Václav Klaus wrote a book critical of climate change. He was one of the rotating presidents of the European Union. But when Nicolas Lacossin tried to get it published in France, no major publisher would touch it.
It's a scientific book. He said climate change and global warming doesn't exist. And we tried to present this book to some editors in France. Nobody wanted to publish.
It is very difficult in France to fight the pieties of climate change, let's put it this way.
Anne-Elisabeth Moutet is a Paris-based columnist for the London Telegraph. She terms how climate change is viewed in France as a catechism.
Yeah. It's a piety. It's something that they've learned the lesson and they repeat the lesson by rote.
It's a pagan religion.
French philosopher Pascal Bruckner has written The Fanaticism of the Apocalypse. Although Bruckner supports environmentalism, he likens the climate change crowd to a religious cult.
Because it uses all the elements of traditional religion, especially the theme of the apocalypse. In France, you have and in Germany, still more, you have this culture of fear. You have sinned, now you have to be punished.
You have all sorts of the snake oil doctors who now sell you carbon credits, and the whole industry has been built over this.
And the elites in Europe continue to move forward with an agenda to change how we all live. At the just completed Planet Under Pressure conference in London, scientists want to not only lower the number of humans on the planet, but restrict them to cities so they don't disrupt the environment. At the same conference, an American college professor issued a paper that said skepticism of man-made climate change is a sickness, like racism, that should be treated. So despite a second horrible winter in which much of Europe felt more like Siberia, leaders continue to make potentially expensive policy plans and decisions based on the belief that global warming is still coming. Dale Hurd, CBN News, Paris.